Hello everyone, this is Verde, and today we're playing a little bit more of Horror of Hex. And my cannons are making too much noise, so I'm turning them down a little bit. Well, well, let's get started. Since yesterday, you can see today's video is a little bit late. Not for the usual reason, it is just because I got a little bit overexcited with some features. Yeah, in the plural, there are a lot of new features for today. For instance, you can see here, I got some fancy animations for the new upgrades, and now they also pop up an attention grabber if they happen outside of screen. It is one of the first features that I have to mention. I also did some heavy optimizations, and these things are now red. And well, there was a lot of things for one day of actual actual progress. Anyway, here, oh, I just dropped the, oh yeah, their color is bases it on the strongest on the strongest upgrade within the rock. Sorry for that little brief moment there. I had to answer a colleague of mine. So, well, here I am. There are tons of new features, not only these. Yeah, the buildings created by Organic Wolf, they have this red tint over them, mostly because I wanted it to be possible to see what was your doing and what was just random, you know? Like if you wanna see what is the actual backbone of your base and what is just a little bit of filler. That's why they now have this red tint, which is something. What else? Oh yeah, I reworked the icon displays there on the left. You won't be able to see it until I get enough upgrades. I don't quite remember how many do fit in these, but until I get enough. One thing I still have to change is that when you build something on an organic structures, you can see it turns white for a second. Here, I will do it for you. It turned white when I did that, which is not nice. Well, what else? What else did I talk to you about? Actually, I think I don't know if the big monster, the new big creature was actually introduced today or yesterday. I do not remember. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, and not only all of that, but I also did a heavy work on optimizations, because optimizations make the game scalable, and when you are able to scale the game, I mean, most of the fun of the game comes from having this stupidly large base with tons of shooters and stuff. The last thing I optimized was the explosions. Now they don't query every enemy in the game anymore. They just query the ones who are near the actual explosion, so they don't disturb the peace everywhere. Basically, the enemies now have a small subscription model that every tick the director removes everyone from the list, and every one of them should subscribe to the tile they are in. One creature can subscribe to several tiles if they are big enough, but yeah, that's basically it. And once the turret or thing determines that they need to check the enemies, they just check the enemies in the position instead of checking everyone. They check the enemies in this vicinity, which actually increases performance quite a lot. Mostly in the late game, because there are tons of explosions happening every second, and there are also tons of enemies. Like when you get Rain of Lead, when you get tons of attack speed, when you get you eventually get to a point where there are tons of explosions. Oh yeah, here you can see there are 2 rows of achievements, of upgrades right now. And I still want to place a little bit of overlay behind them, just so you can see those numbers even when there's something white behind them. But I do think that's it, because I don't know if I'll keep this white biome as it is, because it's really hard to see here and they're really striking on the eyes. Perhaps I'll do a little bit more brownish. I mean, it is a different planet. It doesn't have to have all the biomes, you know. But a cold biome would be cool. But not like this. Perhaps with frozen stuff. Just white background is a little bit too much. Anyway. So when the buildings are... oh yeah. And there is even more optimizations. You'll see here, these balls has most of their leaves, even though there are lots and lots of balls there. Because now every creature, everything can determine if it is being seen by the player or if it's not. And if it isn't, well, it ain't gonna render. It ain't gonna show to play. And also, yeah, there are tons of features today. This is changed. They not only look a little bit more interesting now, but they are also, it is also improved in terms of performance. So look at these little guys. These used to lag the game so much, and now they basically don't do anything to the FPS. I mean, look at how many of those are there. Look at my frames not even stuttering. Now my frame's stuttering a little bit. Oh, okay, an upgrade here. I'm not playing that well here, but I don't have to. Die, creatures. This new lightning is so beautiful. Also, basically, I'm working very hard on optimizations, mostly because I want the game to actually be able to have a late game, you know? I don't want the game every time to end in 20 minutes. I want, if you can go to 40, 60, 80 minutes of gameplay, go for it. I don't want the game to be your limitation, you know, I don't want your FPS to be your limiting resources. There. I mean, there are other limiting resources, like money, like time, like everything. You see, I took some damage on the south here, and now I took some damage on the north. And I am thinking about changing the hotkeys for the skills to be QWERTY instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mostly because I want to implement something else in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. I got an idea today that I really want to implement now because it is really interesting. It is something that would help the game. Actually, would help the game in the later stages of it. What will help the most? How can I say it? Most advanced players in the game, which is basically in certain games when you select an area and you press Ctrl 1, that area becomes saved as your first area, and whenever you press 1 again, you go to that area. You select the area again. I think many RTSs have that. Like I do think StarCraft does have that. I really don't know. I'm just guessing. I remember Age of Empires used to have that. Warcraft used to have that. And well, this is an RTS. And wow, this feature is actually good for this game because how many times I want to see what's happening on a certain space, on a certain part of my base, and I mean, dragging is fine, but it gets old, you know. I like dragging because there is no real speed, maximum speed for it. You see what I say with a white background there? I really don't like it that much because my white things don't show up on it. And I really like using white for stuff. Oh yeah, the Smite does not crash the game anymore. That was a... Yeah, today was a day in terms of development. Lots of stuff was done, and yeah, the game just runs so much smoother now. Look at this. I didn't even change the enemy finding algorithm yet. I just changed the enemy finding algorithm is another one that we'll have to change. But the enemy touching algorithm, the enemy collision algorithm was the one was changed. Now enemies could also collide with each other. There is something that is now possible due to the subscription model without being too much of a concern in terms of lag and stuff. I could implement that. It's so like the balls collide with each other in a cool way. I do think I will actually do that for the balls at least, because it would be interesting, and their collision box is quite simple. I wouldn't have to make something interesting, some hard code, and it would be quite... Did you see that? There was a vertical black line there in the chunk border. That is new. I haven't seen that yet. Is there actually something I have to look for? I don't think it happens that often. It is the first time I've seen that. Okay, keep an eye for it. So this is another boring run without my favorite upgrade, which is factory, clone factory. So it is another. Did I review Clone Factory for you already? I don't think so. I have some kind of a curse that I never dropped Clone Factory on camera, because I dropped that alone when I play by myself, just fairly frequently, like all the time, basically. But when I play in the camera, no, 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 no. Hard mode for you, Verde. No, no purple upgrades. No purple upgrades. Yeah, don't tell them about this. Oh, and about this, I was a little bit torn between two options. The first option was actually making it grow like this. First the first line, then the second line. That would make something interesting happening. Like the second line would be very low upgrades, the ones who have only one off. While this method here, I put on the top the ones with the higher numbers. Just that. I give preference for higher numbers. You see, these creatures here, they used to like the game so much. And now they don't. See? Now they don't. Now they don't. Now they only like the game a little. Not even that much. What am I losing here? And the explosions, they are nice and quick about it. They explode and then they're done with that. And the new lightning is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. This is interesting because of the 3 organic growths. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, having the red tint on the organic growth. It helps you to see what of the base is your construction and what of the base is not your construction. You can see not only what did you do and what didn't you do, but also what were your plans, what were your... Because, well, without that, I would never ever guess that this would be the... Okay, never mind, let me stop talking for a bit. My base is in danger. I do think I need additional turrets. Actually, I do think my whole base is in danger. Yeah, that's that. There's that. I have to look for a region with some rocks, like here. Build there. Oh god, that wasn't enough, was it? Thankfully, this combined with this makes it so that the explosions are actually pretty prone to actually knocking creatures back. Yeah, building on the white background is really strange and bad and stuff. Mostly stuff. And the lag is still there. I really gotta do something about the damage numbers, which are still a font of lag, you know. But currently, the shooters are responsible for all of this lag here. Most of the lag is actually from building upgrades, updates. Why? Mostly because my base is being destroyed. You see? Got to 18 minutes into the video, and no lag. No lag, says Verde as his base drops. I guess I'm dropping the base. Okay, that was... Yeah, I didn't have to do that. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? So, see here, these creatures used to ruin your game as soon as they spawned. And now they are not only beautiful, but they are not ruining the game anymore. And the new graphics for the lighting, man, that is just so beautiful. Okay, I should really stop fangirling about my own linings, as my stuff is deteriorated, that it is destroyed. I really wanted to die to one of the new balls, you know. The old balls are just so, but I don't think I'm seeing any new pairs of balls here. Oh god, these guys used to lag the game so much, and now they are doing just fine. These guys, however, are doing just fine, but are also destroying my base, which I don't like. Yeah, I am not a big fan of that. And you see the rumble. These were the organic ones, and these are the built ones. Oh yeah, the new balls. I don't know if I already showed you guys them, but they basically are bigger, slower, and more dangerous balls. See, they look like this. They have small rocks in them, and they have a small difficulty turning, but they do not bounce against your stuff. They and they are like a super elite ball or something like that. And there are elite variants of those as well. They can be either fast, which is frightening, or even larger, which is also frightening. Also frightening for my standards, yeah. Both of them are frightening, precisely. But still, the elite ones only spawn when the difficulty is up to 500, 600. So it should actually 650 is the minimum difficulty to spawn. So you won't be seeing them around that much. Anyway, here I will leave you guys here. Today's video was a kind of a shorter one because it was only one match. I did, however, manage to survive for almost 21 minutes, reach 470, 70, yeah, 470 difficulty. But you can see the game runs much smoother now, which is something. I still have to optimize the code for some things, but anyway, I think that was it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day, and goodbye.